Haven't played Ohio State in ever.
Good morning, everyone. We'll get going here. I'm Colton. I'll be the moderator. Just a few reminders. Still shots only. No video. If you could get your phones to mute, that would be appreciated. So we'll open up for questions for Coach Schaefer. If you could just raise your hand and first, last name, and media affiliation.
Lindsay Schnell, USA Today. I thought Rory might be up here with you. I wondered if you could talk about her a little bit. You know, obviously she came in with a lot of accolades, but did you think she would be this good right away? Be honest.
Yeah, first of all, thanks for everybody for being here. I did. We needed a point guard at my previous school, and I had identified three that I really felt like were the best in the country, and she was certainly one of them, and she was the one that I really wanted. No disrespect to the other two, but she was the one that I really felt like was a great fit for us and our style of play. And the thing about a point guard is certainly her skill set is really, really good, especially for a young player like herself. I think what separates her is her motor. She just has an unbelievable energy level and effort level that, let's face it, even seniors don't have. I think that's what separates her from so many people, not just point guards. I'm talking about players in the game, is that she plays both ends of the floor. She commands your respect offensively. She creates for her teammates. And again, I think she would tell you, as any point guard would, you're only as good as the people that are around you that can finish. If you got people that can't finish, your assists aren't going to be as good, and you don't look near as good running a team. But I think with her, what she does for us in setting the tone as well as setting the table is critical to our success. And what I mean by setting the tone is just, obviously we press and pick up 94 feet, and she just has so much energy on the ball. And if you're playing with a person like that, with a player like that, and you're behind them, you can't help but look at her and go, well, she's playing pretty hard. I guess I'll play hard too. And I just think that's infectious. And so that was the part for me that, you go recruiting and you see a lot of kids and they can score the ball and, they do this and do that. But how many of them, when you walk out of the gym going, man, that kid plays her guts out. She plays so hard. And again, when you make that statement about a player, it's very rarely you're talking about their offense. Like playing hard, being tough, being physical, being aggressive, those are descriptions of somebody that's probably playing pretty hard defensively. I mean, if somebody describes your team as a tough, physical, aggressive basketball team, that doesn't say anything about your skill set. And yet, that's the way I love my team to be described. I think that's the way any athlete, let's forget about basketball, you can say that about a quarterback, a running back, a split end, a baseball pitcher, a track. I mean, if that's the description of you, you're probably going to like that as a coach, and I think you'll like that as an athlete too. So I think that's the description for her. She's a tough, physical, aggressive basketball player with an incredible skill set, but what separates her is her motor. And she just plays relentless for usually most of the game, if not all the game.
So we have some media members over Zoom. I'm gonna give them the opportunity to ask any questions. Please raise your hand if you have any questions. People on Zoom. Okay. We'll move over here and come back to you.
Hi, Vic. Tim Booth from the Associated Press. Just wondering what you've seen from Aaliyah Moore these last three games and the kind of contribution she's been able to provide for you during this stretch.
Yeah, we've seen the kid that we thought we were getting. Her injury was pretty significant, and it really set her back. And when you have an injury that sets you back 6-7 weeks, there's other things that then compound just the injury and the comeback. And it's one thing to be a senior. You've been playing your whole life, your whole career, and you got a little setback or a 6-7 week setback. Well, you've been playing your whole. It's a little bit easier to get back faster, if that makes sense. You're talking about a young player, a freshman, trying to adapt to this level, and all of a sudden she's over there spending more time with your strength coach and your trainer than she is with a basketball in her hands for 7 weeks. And so you can build up quite a bit of rust. And it's hard to knock that rust off in a short period of time. And I think that's what happened with Amo, is that she just accumulated some rust, and we had some other factors that got compounded during the course of her sitting out, and so it took her a while. But again, you're seeing a kid that plays extremely hard, is tough, is physical, is aggressive, is smart, and plays, and really is really a tough kid. And so, and a competitor. That's the thing, I think, again, her, Rory, I mean, you can go down the list. I got a team full of competitors, y'all. And, we had one starter back, 1.5 if you count Audrey, but Audrey would go weeks last year without even practicing, And so, but I think with Amo, you see now in these last few games a really confident kid, a kid that's happy, that's excited about getting back to her old self. And so, I think she's really brought a lot to our team. Again, we shot the ball Sunday. We played probably as good as we can play Sunday, and we had to play really well to beat Baylor in the championship, but we might have played better on Sunday. But here's the thing, y'all, your field goal percentage goes way up when you can get some layups in transition, which we got 4, and then you got Amo going 9 for 10 down there in the hole. Well, that helps you a bunch. And so it helps to have her and Lauren. Lauren might be our most improved player on our entire team. And when you've got an inside game like we do, it commands the other team's respect, and then it opens things up for the rest of everybody else. So Amo's been playing well and playing with a lot of confidence. And again, she started our first 3 games. She started our game at Stanford, and I think might have had 10 or 12 there and played 27 minutes. But she's really come on, and it's fun to see because she's got her smile back and her pep in her step. And it can really be when you're a competitor and you want to play and it's all you've ever known. When you're over there sitting on the side, it's, mentally that can be a little bit exhausting and a little draining. And I'm really proud of her. She's really, really figured it out.
Let's work here.
Natalie Weiner, New York Times. I know that this past game, like you just mentioned, it was like such a stellar performance. I noticed you even got a little emotional right at the end there. I was wondering if you could tell us a little like what you told your players after that game and sort of how you approach trying to follow up like such a complete performance. Is there any pressure there?
Well, quite frankly, I don't think there's any pressure on us. I've been, my kids don't, but I've been paying attention to what's been published the last couple of days, and there ain't a whole lot of mention about Texas. Media's talked about just about everybody else in the tournament. I hadn't read a whole lot about Texas in the national media, and that's okay. But I told our kids after the game how proud I was of them, and I just thought one thing we've been on the road, we've been really focused all year. This team is really locked in on the road. Friday night we played a championship team in Fairfield. They won their conference tournament. They won their regular season. They're champions. They had lost 1 game since December 9th with a bunch of seniors and grad transfers. So, and we didn't play very well. And yet we still won by 18. But after the game, my job is obviously just to be real with them and get them ready for the next game. And the reality was, yes, we just won an NCAA tournament game by 18, and that's all great. And we can walk around and do this and be excited. But the reality is you're fixing to play, in my mind, a top 25 team from a Power 5 conference who just played for their conference championship. And if you play like you played on Friday night, there won't be another one after Sunday. So what that allowed me to do is get their attention. Boy, Saturday's practice was good. They were locked in. Compared to Tuesday, Wednesdays, and Thursdays practice coming off the Big 12 championship, which wasn't very good. And that's typical. You know, you come off an emotional win, a team that you've had a hard time beating in years past, and you win a championship. We're still a very young, inexperienced, and at times an immature basketball team. That hasn't changed. And so it's sometimes hard to overcome that. And I knew it all week. I saw it coming. I was just hoping we could get through Fairfield, because if we could, I knew I'd have their attention on Saturday. And then Sunday, y'all, we were so locked in, so laser. We had laser focus from the jump, and we had to. We were playing a really good team, a well-coached team, and lots of really good players, young players, and so competitors. And so after the game, I told them, hey, you know, the way we played today, if we can bottle that up, you know, we can play as long as you want, but we got to find a way to continue to do that, because I thought we had some kids that really were special on Sunday. There's certain players on our team that we have to have every night in order for us to have a chance to win, but I thought we had some others step up that were really special on Sunday. That's why we looked so dominating and played such a great game. And so, again, we'll have to do that obviously from here on out. We're playing the Big Ten champions tomorrow, and you know, Kevin's got a heck of a team, and they just really command so much attention at every spot on the floor. So we're going to have to be on point again defensively, but then offensively we got to find a way to score some points, because just like going into the Utah game, I was really shocked we held them under 60. I felt like we were going to have to find. In fact, Saturday afternoon I gave up looking at defense, and I was trying to figure out ways to score. And so, you know, that's about where I'm at right now with Ohio State. You know, they're just really talented, and Kevin's got a great plan for those kids. They're well coached.
Joey Kaufman from the Columbus Dispatch. Your team has been really effective at forcing turnovers, especially in these first two tournament games. How much has your press defense been critical in your success this year, and what do you think of the matchup against Ohio State's backcourt?
Well, the matchup, you know, piece I think is really, you know, really key. I think he's probably talking about guard play like I am, but I don't think you can take your eyes off of inside players either. I think he's got players at 4 and 5 that are really special and can really attack you in some different ways. You know, the pressing piece and the defensive piece that they do and we do. You know, our press is just who we are. I mean, it's just what we do, right? And so we may get 2 or 3 turnovers off of it, but our deal is we're going to wear you down. You know, in the fourth quarter, you might be giving it to us at that point because you're just tired of messing with us. And you know, Utah, I think, turned it over 7 times in the first half and 12 in the second. So, you know, I think we both have similar teams, and we have certain players that we don't want to bring off the floor. And so it's going to be, you know, probably be a game of attrition a little bit, you know, stamina and that kind of thing. And but it's just who we are. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and tell you we're going to play 2-3 zone and hope you miss, because that probably ain't happening. But I'll tell you that if you want to tell Kevin. But it's just, you know, I think this time of year we are who we are, right? And that's what we've done all year long, and our kids love it. They're bought into it. They know the importance of it, and you know, it's for us. To me, it's the only way to build a program, to build a fan base, to do our game justice. To me, that's what makes women's basketball fun to watch. You know, it's how I built our program at the school I was at before, and it's how we're building it at Texas. And again, I think our fan base enjoys watching kids play hard and playing the game, honoring the game, and respecting the game like we do.
So we are getting close on that 15-minute time limit. So I'll have a question here, and then last question.
Craig Way, Longhorn Radio Network. J.C. Sheldon and Taylor Mikesell have some very similar numbers. I know you're familiar with Taylor with some background there, but what do you see in the similarities and the differences in their games?
Well, I think both of them have tremendous presence on the floor. I think they both command your respect. I think they're different players. I think they're both explosive players. I think you can't lose them. I think you better know where both of them are at all times. But I think you defend each of them uniquely, and so we'll have to really be on point defensively with those two. They're both very, very talented, very skilled players, and you know what? Both of them play extremely hard as well. And I have a tremendous amount of respect for kids when I watch them on film and see that. You don't always see that when you're watching film, but when you watch really that entire team, they play really hard. And I think that's the thing that jumps at you. On film, I say this a lot. In the old days, they would let us have one in-person scouting. And when you go scout, you aren't writing down plays. You're scouting quickness and speed, because that's two things you cannot tell on film. When I watch the film of their team, I can tell quickness and speed. And I think that's what really jumps out at you, for me when I'm watching Ohio State, is just how hard they play the game. Again, I think they're really, they're not only well balanced, and obviously, they obviously, just like any team, have leading scorers, but I think you take your eyes off a couple of them, they can go get you in a hurry. And so I just think they play the game extremely hard. I think Kevin's done an incredible job with them. They're Big Ten champions. And so just that in and of itself warrants your attention and your respect. So we're going to have to, we'll have to be on point. But listen, I love my team. They have really accomplished a lot this year. They play the game extremely hard. They've gotten better and better throughout the course of the season, which I think I take great pride in as a coach. I think all my teams have always consistently gotten better throughout the year and even into March. But I couldn't. This team has really embraced the getting better and work ethic, and this is what we do, at Texas mentality. And I think that the turning point for us was when you have kids like we do, we just don't have a whole lot of kids from the state. We got them from everywhere. And because you've been at Texas for a long time, and we found out during the course of the season, y'all, this is life at Texas. Everybody wants to beat Texas. I don't care if they're playing jacks on the sidewalk or hopscotch. And they don't just want to beat you, they want to beat the dog out of you. And when they do, they celebrate like it's the national championship. I had 2 teams in my own building throwing water on each other in January. We had to learn to embrace the fact that everybody's coming for you. I think the kids would say they're coming for your cookies or something like that, but everybody's coming for you, and you better get ready, because you're going to get everybody's best shot. You're going to get everybody's best 2 days of practice before they play you. You're going to get everybody's best shoot around, and then you're going to get their best game. And once we understood to embrace that, that's when we got better. So this is where we are today. And again, I couldn't be more proud of them. They have absolutely earned this where they are today. And I'm excited, just like I always am. I'm excited to see them play tomorrow.
Last quick question for Coach Schaefer.
Thank you for doing that. I appreciate that. I don't have a date. I don't know if you do, but I'm good. Yeah. Practice doesn't start till a few minutes. I got a few minutes.
Vic Lindsay from USA Today again. First of all, you gave us such a nice long answer on Rory, and you didn't mention that she has great hair. I wanted to ask you, I was curious, are you aware of Tara's challenge to other coaches, and has she cornered you while you've been here for less than 24 hours and got you to commit to it?
I am aware of it, and it's something that, I think is admirable for all of us to be a part of. and I'm sure I'll find a time to talk to her about it and get some more information of it. And I'm certainly I would certainly consider doing that with her. I think that's the thing, y'all. We're all sitting in here right now. We're talking about basketball. There's some real life stuff going on that ain't much good. It's not much fun, and it's it really I try to read up on it every day. Just my father was a bird colonel in the Army 32 years and fought over in the European theater, so I'm really aware. I grew up in that home. I'm really aware of what war is. Not that I've been involved in one, but I know my father was, and he shared with me some of those things, and it warrants all of our attention, and anything we can do. I think if we have an opportunity, we need to do it, and I'm certainly glad to help Tara in that endeavor. So thanks for bringing that up.
Thanks, Coach.
All right, praise the Lord and hook of horns.
All right, I want to start off by welcoming University of Texas student athletes. 15-minute time limit will start now, so we'll open up for questions. If you could direct the question to a specific student athlete, that'd be great.
Lindsay Schnell, USA Today. Okay, Rory, here you are. It's your first March Madness. What's it been like so far just to walk around? You haven't played like a freshman all year, but I'm just wondering, this is new for you.
Oh, thank you for that. Yes, it is new, but I mean, having the team that you have and the coach that you have there, they just play so experienced, and you kind of pick up from that. And it's been so exciting, and I love playing with this team, and I love playing basketball here at Texas. So.
Listen, I'm never going to run out of questions, so no one worry. Audrey Lindsay at USA Today. So in the little bit that you guys have been able to watch film on Ohio State, what jumps out at you? What are you excited about? You love to, mix it up, play physical. This is going to be another opportunity to do that.
Yeah, the film we watched, they're an extremely good team. Everybody is that's in the tournament right now. So we just need to play our basketball. We don't want to change much that we've been working on. We've looked at their guards, looked at personnel, just to make sure we know, what their go-to is and how we're going to stop it.
Tim Booth from the Associated Press. Audrey, what has Aaliyah provided you these last 3 games with her scoring punch off the bench, and can you describe sort of what you've seen from her season as a whole up until now?
Are you talking about Aaliyah Moore? She's a great player. As a freshman, she's really learned to take criticism and to listen. She's so coachable. To come off the bench and score as much as she has been has really helped the team. Everything she's been doing has helped the team. She brings so much energy before the game, during the game. I think we're all excited to see what kind of player she's going to grow into be, because she's already, at a high level. And, yeah.
Rory, you kind of exploded onto the scene early in the season when you guys beat Stanford. How much does that game, that experience, help when you started playing in the NCAA tournament? That you've slayed the defending national champ. You're just not really scared of anything, I'm guessing.
Well, that was like a pretty long time ago. What was it, our second game? Second game, and, it's completely different now. We've had so many practices in between now and then with, all the teams here. And, all the teams here are great. They're here for a reason, but we've learned from those type of games. And we've had a pretty good experience with playing teams away. And so I'm pretty sure we'll be focused now, so.
Any media members on Zoom, if you have any questions
For the student athletes.
Natalie Weiner, New York Times. Whoa, that's a weird echo. I was just wondering, this is for Joanne and Audrey. Last year, obviously, you came in as the underdogs and sort of walked away with a win that most people weren't expecting. This year, you're coming in with a little bit of the advantage with the higher seed. How do you sort of keep that chip on the shoulder mentality, like coming into this game?
I would say games are not won on paper. So for last season, a lot of people had UCLA and Maryland, knocking us out. But you have to come to play, So games are not won on paper. Just like we're taking that into this season. We might be the higher seed, but games are not won on paper. We have to play our game to beat the team we're playing. So yeah.
I agree with her completely. I think she said it all.
Craig Way, Longhorn Radio Network. Joe, I asked you yesterday about number of games left, and you said you prefer to put your head down and drive forward and not think about that. But what I am interested in, and Audrey, I want your thoughts on it as players who've been here and been through this, did you see and have you seen the younger players, not just Rory, but the younger players start to figure this out now, what it takes on down, especially in the second half of the season after the 2 straight home losses, to launch the winning streak and to get what it takes to get to this point?
Yeah, definitely. Just we came out so hot, at the beginning of the season, and then we went on we dropped a couple, games that probably we shouldn't have, and I think we start to notice a change as a team. Every day is a grind. Every team is trying to beat you. Especially wearing Texas on your chest. People are coming for you every single game. There's no time to relax. It doesn't matter what you've done before. You have to show up every single game. And I think we've really learned to embrace, it's us against the world, us against everybody. And that's probably the biggest growth I've seen out of this team.
Yeah, to piggyback off that, I think the younger players have come to realize, it's not high school anymore. Everybody's coming for you. They don't care what your name was in high school. They're coming to win. They're not coming to beat you. They're coming to beat Texas. It's not just Texas basketball, but Texas as a program. So I think everyone on this team has come to be one and realize that we all have to work together and play together to win.
Joey Kaufman from the Columbus Dispatch. This is really could be a question for anybody, but Coach was talking to us a little bit ago about, he said your press defense is who you are. How much is that ingrained in practices and throughout the year? Is it something that's really sort of a huge priority for you?
Yeah. Defense wins games ultimately. I think our pressure is not something that's a lot of teams see, and we use that to our advantage. We work on it every day in practice, multiple drills. Every time, we scrimmage, it's get into the press. So it's ingrained in our mind, definitely.
Natalie Weiner, New York Times. Kind of a follow-up to that a little bit. Coach Schaefer was talking about the really high energy that you guys bring, and I think that's been obvious sort of through the tournament games so far. Is there anything you sort of tell each other while you're on the floor to just if you see somebody dragging, to just get them to pep up a little bit?
I would say one of the first things we do say before the game even starts is to punch first. We actually say that before the game, before every single quarter. And we always just say we need to punch first. And when you punch first, it's really, the game is in your favor pretty much.
And just to go off of that, not, I don't want to say it's like rare, but it's kind of unusual to see one of us dragging when we're like celebrating each other. Like that doesn't happen. Like we just feed off of each other's energy. It gets real electric between us. Like it doesn't matter who's in the gym. Like we're feeding off each other's energy. So it's hard for somebody on the team to be dragging.
Any final questions? Thank you for taking the time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.